Are you all right, Madame Eleanor? Don't let those people get you down.
I'm fine. Thank you for your concern. But could you not do that thing where you blow air on me to dry my tears?
All right, I'll just pat your head then.
That won't be necessary either. But really, things are in a terrible state.
The town burned, the guild ruined, the abbey all but gone. It won't be a functioning port for some time.
You can't fault them for being upset. They had it real good here until we came along. Those Hellavesians were like spoiled children.
How so?
Eloise was once a tiny fishing village. The bountiful northern seas provided plenty enough fish to sustain their trade. But Flamestone gave them an easy way to get rich. And once they got a taste, they abandoned craft.
And now they're paying the price. But I've heard that the cooling temperature has covered half the northern sea in ice drift, making fishing much more difficult.
But the drifting ice carries tiny organisms, enriching the waters where it melts. The fish should be more plentiful than ever.
I suppose you may have a point.
We're ones to talk after what we did, but taking the easy path, then complaining as soon as it gets hard, that seems...
Spoiled, yes.
You said it, Laphicet.
I think my appetite's getting a little overindulgent, too.
That's not a bad thing. Just means you're healthy.
Giant squid come to these waters in this season. I asked Benwick to fish some up.
Yeah, and some normal octopuses, too. This calamity is... us, isn't it?
Well, we've been waging war with the Abbey everywhere we go, and now we're about to take it to a new level.
If we pull the next Therian off of the Earth Pulse point, it'll likely be Kamoana's village all over again.
The same devastation?
Ooh, I wonder if there's something worse than calamity that they can call us.
This is no laughing matter.
People turn into demons in part due to their own malevolence. It's not like they're entirely innocent. But if there's someone out there who's being forced to act as Inominat's mouth, like Kamoana was, isn't saving them to do?
I cannot argue with that, but...
You don't have to worry. I'm the one who will devour the barrier. And I'm the one who will do what needs to be done.
Earth of Helavis.
The Earth Pulse point is to the north, too. Probably in the very same place.
Helavis is... different now, isn't it?
Maybe, but you've changed too.
True. When I first met all of you, I never could have imagined I would go on such a journey.
I could barely even think then. But then Velvet let me keep this compass. And Aizen and Rokuro taught me to be myself.
They certainly did.
And look at Dial. He's a regular part of the Von Altia's crew now.
Even Restless Bienfu and Grimoire are now part of our merry band.
Yep.
Hey, aren't you forgetting someone?
Oh, and the prince and his hawk, and Korogane and Kamoana are with us.
Listen, I've got more part in this tale than any of them.
Hush. Whatever I'd say, you'd say it doesn't matter to you.
At last you begin to understand me. Magic Hazam!
Achoo! Ugh. I didn't think Northgand would be this cold.
But Northgand was Teresa's territory. Wouldn't you have been here with her?
I think having my awareness controlled meant my senses were dulled as well.
I see. But the cold doesn't seem to be bothering Aizen at all. In fact, everyone else seems comfortable here.
If you shiver at these temperatures, you'll never make it on the high seas.
In my youth, I practiced the blade under the blazing sun and through raging blizzards. Besides, when I turned into a demon, extreme temperatures ceased to affect me.
The same thing happened to me. I used to hate winter. So that's some good luck.
But what of yourself? You seem to be handling it just fine.
I'm freezing, actually. I don't know how you stand it.
I loathe the cold more than anything. That's why I've armed myself with a secret weapon. I've stuck thin, yet powerful, Cuckoo brand hand warmers all over myself! I even packed them in my shoes!
Really? Sounds amazing!
I'm willing to share, if you act like a dove.
What?
Go cuckoo, like a dove.
Please share your cuckoo warmers with me. Cuckoo.
You're no velvet, that's for sure.
There sure are a lot of Malakim posted here.
They're probably here to protect the Therian, right?
One would assume.
The exorcist controlling them can't be far then. Be careful.
These ruins. This feels like a sad place.
Sad? In what way?
Sorrow permeates this place. As if left behind by people who suffered torment and death. I guess that's a weird impression to get by just looking at some ruins, huh?
I'd trust my feelings if I were you. They'll often lead you to the truth of things. Besides, what you're feeling would explain a thing or two about these ruins.
It would?
Rather than attempting to impress visitors with beauty and opulence, the building and its passageways were built with strength and stability in mind. And that means...
They were anticipating volcanic earthquakes. And they expected that someone might turn violent in these passageways.
Not a bad observation. And what would bring such savage people to these halls? Surely they weren't just passing through.
Then this passage must have led to somewhere. Some room or structure deeper within. A prison for the worst criminals. Or maybe a battle arena.
And that's what gave you a sense of sadness.
If it was an arena, then treasure for the victors might be hidden away somewhere.
Why would it be hidden?
Well, those fighter types might not have been all that nice. And the people who built this place seem to have been the cautious type.
Hidden treasure, huh? Where do you think...
Save your speculation for another day, you two. We have a Therian to find.
Right. Sorry.
So, about that treasure.
Aizen!
Ugh. We'll talk about this later, Laphicet.
All right.
Hey, Eleanor. I was wondering, do you think I hurt Medusa saying that stuff to her back there?
I suppose you might have. But I was thinking the exact same things you were. Losing a mother. It's always a tragedy. I'm glad you stepped in and stopped her.
Thanks.
That Eleanor. I swear, she feels way more responsibility for everything than she needs to. You think we need to worry? What if she pushes too far into malevolence?
Malevolence is born out of many things. A prideful ego, the self-righteousness that turns a blind eye to one's inner contradictions. Eleanor is different. She's mindful of her ego and strives to confront her inconsistencies of character.
She has a purity of heart that won't be tainted by the emotions that create malevolence. Another quality is as essential for an exorcist.
So she's probably okay?
For now, at least. But human hearts can be fickle things. Who knows what the future holds?
I doubt you got anything to worry about. For most exorcists, purity is a construct of the Abbey's teachings. But Eleanor, she's the real deal.
She's not your average exorcist, I'll give you that.
Purity is handy for any exorcist. But more than that, it's a rare and precious temperament for living. Everybody's got an ego and certain internal contradictions to some degree. Facing one's own ugliness in an honest manner is never easy. To be a normal human is to live carrying malevolence. It's just how much you let it continue that varies.
I guess malevolence might just be a fact of life, huh? But Artorias can't accept that.
Hey, do you all have mothers?
Where'd that question come from?
Well, after hearing that Velvet, Kamawana, and Eleanor all lost their parents, I just got curious.
My mother was a strict, frightening woman, but she died a long time ago.
I see.
I have no parents either. But the wicked witch who took me in said I was born from a peach that floated down the river.
Coming from you, I'd almost believe that.
And you, Aizen?
We Malakim are formed from untainted mana. Sometimes humans are reborn as Malakim, but they retain no memory of their previous lives. In other words, we don't have blood relations like humans do.
I see. By the time I was aware of anything around me, I was already tethered and being called number 2. I suppose having no mother means I don't have any memories before that. I told Medusa that losing a mother is painful, but I can't know how painful it is.
Go easy on him, Aizen. He's just a kid.
I'm just telling it like it is. But listen to me, Laphicet. You can share deep connections with other people, even if you don't have a biological family. Malakim, too, can form precious bonds, true friendships, even family.
That's right. You'll say if they weren't true in your heart.
You really think so?
I'm sure of it.
It's far better than being a witch born from a peach.
Nonsense! There's no nobler way to be born! I have an everlasting friendship with a dog, a monkey, a pheasant, and Bienfu.
I hope he's right.
You said that Malakim can have familial ties, but what makes you and your sister siblings if you're not related by blood?
Well, a very long time ago, I was born into this world from an Earth Pulse point up on a sacred mountain. I remained in that place for a long while, and then one day, she was born from the very same Earth Pulse point. Before we knew it, we had wound up living together under the same roof.
Are two Malakim always siblings if they come from the same Earth's point?
No. Other Malakim were born there, but I never felt like they were my family. But something, I don't know what, was her. If she was sad, I'd feel sad. And if I was happy, she'd be happy too. She can be abrasive, but when she smiles, it's like nothing else. I swore to myself that whatever happened, I would protect her. I made a pendant from a stone on that sacred mountain and gave it to her as a lucky charm. Of course, she just wears it as a necklace.
And your pendant? Did she give that to you?
She had the same idea I had. She made the pendant herself and gave it to me as a good luck charm. Without either of us having mentioned a word of it beforehand, we each gave each other pendants in the same shape on the very same day, when I really knew that what I had felt all along was true. We were brother and sister.
Is that her in the picture?
Yeah. It's a self-portrait she drew for me on the day I left home.
Did you draw her a picture of yourself?
No. I don't exactly have an artistic side.
Well, I'm sure that if you looked inside her pendant, you'd find a portrait of the person who matters most to her.
I hope so.
Yeah, and it would be nice if it was you.
Grimoire always looks like she never wants to do any work, but despite all her grumbling, when she starts a job, she gets it done, and quickly too. She's frank, but she still takes care not to say anything to hurt anyone's feelings. I have to say, I like that in a woman. It's charming.
Well, sorry if I'm inconsiderate and charmless then.
I didn't mean it like that. You're all still so young and have led different lives. Can't fault you for being you.
Well, if you're saying we lack a certain air of maturity, I might not disagree.
That's for sure. It's true Lord Artorius has scolded my lack of composure at times.
Although I do get the impression that Grimoire has been dependable like that since she was young.
And it's a good impression at that. Old Grim's been that way since the day she was born. I hate to admit it, but her combination of insightful words and deadpan expression has charmed the hearts of many a Malak. At her peak, she had a fan club 8,848 members strong, and her dinner shows would sell out the day the tickets went on sale. Malakim came by the droves to doze off listening to her live readings of ancient books.
Wow! I had no idea she was so popular.
Yeah, she's even a regular feature in Who's Who Among Norman.
Now that I think about it, I could see how a person could interpret her lethargy as patience and her vague dispassion as maturity and poise. Compared to her, I'm just...
Were you just trying to imitate her?
No, I didn't mean to.
Whether you meant to or not, that kind of felt like her just now. I can see it in you, waiting to be awake. Sophisticated charm.
Me? Sophisticated and charming? I don't know.
Try talking like her. You know how she lets her sentences. This is your make or break moment here.
All right. I think I know what you mean. Here goes nothing. Oh. What do you think, Laphicet? Do I sound like her?
It feels a little off, but you're definitely doing it. I think. Aw, you don't have to grow up, Madam Eleanor. You're cute just the way you are.
You stay out of this, Bienfu!
When mankind's despair reaches its pinnacle, Inominat shall reach out and bring an end to all.
So that song bothers you too?
No matter how many times I read it, I don't see any good in it.
Understanding that ancient tongue is difficult, right? Perhaps there's another interpretation? Maybe the end to all actually means an end to all human suffering, for example.
That is a possibility. But we're far too lacking in material to know anything for sure.
We need the other half of that book, or some other text on Inominat.
We don't have the time to search for it. Wouldn't even know where to start looking.
And don't forget that that book is just a copy. Whoever transcribed it might have made an error, too.
That's an unexpectedly sharp insight coming from you.
I'm an expert at errors. When Miss Magilu made me copy magic tomes for her, I did it pretty half-heartedly.
Didn't that cause a lot of problems?
Well, when she tried to cast a spell from one of the tomes, the spell exploded in her face. It's really her own fault, though. She told me to copy 100 books in 3 days! That's impossible!
Oh, how cruel!
Cruel is right! That witch is a real devil, I tell you, Eve Driver!
Bien Phu, let's go somewhere a little more private, shall we?
Miss Magilu!
Hush now. There's no need to worry. I'll make it a half-hearted punishment. Not that I really care, but who ended up winning the fishing competition when we were trying to catch a Therian?
Man, that was a while ago. I lost because I came away with nothing.
No, it was a draw. As I'm sure everyone remembers, all I fished up were octopus demons. We were competing over who would catch the Therian. Demons didn't count, so my score was 0-2.
No, the loss is mine, and I'm not giving it to you.
That's not just something you can up and decide like that. In fact, by fishing up those octopus demons, I put everyone in danger. That should count for negative points. I lost.
Who cares? It was all in fun.
I care. Every competition must have a winner and a loser, no matter what. That's just how I see it.
Yeah, I'm with Eisen on this one. It doesn't do anyone any good to make the final results murky.
I can't believe I'm going to do this. Eisen, your curse would mean that the odds were stacked against you from the start. That doesn't make for a fair competition, does it?
Yeah, she's got a good point. We'll just have to settle the score some other way.
What can you guys do? Play cards? Chess? What?
Cards are a no-go for me. I'll just end up drawing jokers.
And I can play shogi, but I don't know chess.
Then what about arm wrestling? Would that work?
Whoa, whoa! Having a demon and a Moloch clasp hands is just asking for trouble with malevolence.
You're both adults, so why not a drinking contest?
That's it! If we have a drinking contest, we'll be able to compete on an even playing field.
Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with that. I'll have the crew bring out the drinks.
Well, that's one way of resolving it, I suppose.
Whatever gets it done. I'm not gonna complain.
If you guys are gonna have a drinking contest, you're gonna need some tasty snacks to go with all that alcohol, right?
Definitely. Let's go out and fish us some snacks.
Yeah, let's take out the little boat. We can even pick up where we left off our fishing competition.
Didn't we just figure out he can't really fish?
We were just about to finally resolve this mess. Why'd you have to go and stick your nose into it?
What? Why are you yelling at me? I didn't do anything